Usually in response to the question, who invented the first computer, we see the name Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage, a British philosopher, analyst and mathematician, 1791 to 1871, was a notable figure in various fields including mathematics and mechanical engineering. Babbage's resume includes the names of two famous machines, known as the difference engine and the analytical engine. Babbage began his work on the development of the difference engine in 1822. This machine was used for calculating polynomial functions. Then, from 1837, Babbage continued to develop the analytical engine, which was a more complex device. This device was essentially the first computer to create a breakthrough in this field. The analytical engine had many features of a modern computer today. In this device, there was a component similar to a CPU, which Babbage named the mill. Additionally, this analytical engine had memory, which Babbage named the store. Unfortunately, Babbage never had enough money to build his analytical machine. Finally, in 1991, the London Science Museum constructed a complete model of his device using technologies available at Babbage's time. First analog computers. Although Babbage is known as the father of modern computing, it seems that two other ancient devices, the south-pointing chariot in China and the Antikythera mechanism in Greece, were the first analog computers. When was the first programmable computer invented? Konrad Zuse, a German, built the world's first programmable computer between 1935 and 1938, called the Z1 in Berlin. The Z1 could read instructions from 35mm film. However, due to the inefficient performance of its 30,000 metal parts, it never achieved effective and complete functionality. Eventually, it was destroyed during an air raid in World War II. In 1940, Konrad Zuse developed the Z2 computer, in 1941, the Z3 computer, and 1949, the Z4 computer. The Z3 was the world's first programmable and fully automatic digital computer. The Z3 was a 22-bit binary calculator. The Z3 had loops but lacked conditional operators, and its memory and computing units were based on telephone relays. First electronic computer inventor. If you believe that computers are inherently electronic devices, Tommy Flowers, an English engineer, can claim to be the first computer inventor. Tommy Flowers was responsible for designing and building Colossus. This device was used to interpret encrypted messages between high-ranking German commanders in World War II. This computer could perform binary operations and counting using thermionic valves. Tommy Flowers' designed machine was the first programmable, electronic, and digital computer. However, Colossus used switches and plug boards instead of stored programs. If a user wanted to change the computer program, they had to rebuild the machine in a long and difficult process. Manchester Baby. The first electronic computer with a stored program in the world was the small-scale experimental machine, SSEM, called the Manchester Baby. Frederick Williams, Tom Kilburn, and Jeff Tootill from the University of Manchester, England, developed this device. The Manchester Baby was first introduced on June 21, 1948. This strange and peculiar device was never considered a practical and usable computer. Instead, this interesting and different device was used as a tool to test the first RAM in the world. 1953. IBM introduced the first scientific computer in the world called the 701. 1955. MIT introduced the first computer with integrated RAM called Whirlwind. 1956. MIT introduced the first transistor computer. 1964. Pier Giorgio Perotto, an Italian, introduced the first desktop system called Programmable 101 and managed to sell 44,000 units of this system. 1968. Hewlett-Packard started selling the HP 9100A. This system was the first desktop computer to be mass-produced and sold on the market. In the 1970s, John Blankenbaker, an American, produced the first personal computer called the Kenbach 1. This computer was introduced to the market in 1971. Only 50 Kenbach 1 computer systems were sold for $750 each, which today have a value of about $5,000. The first computer that resembles modern computers today is the Xerox Alto, which was introduced in 1974. This computer system had a display, a graphical interface, and a mouse. Programs opened in different windows. Each program had its icon, and the operating system menus were in their usual position. The Xerox Alto computer system was never sold to the public, but 500 copies were used in universities worldwide. Steve Jobs received a prototype of the Alto in 1979. The conceptual design of this device became the basis for the design of the Apple Lisa and Macintosh systems. Finally, in August 1981, IBM introduced the personal computer. With this account, who is the true inventor of the computer? What direction will computer systems move in the future?